Spanky, back from Jeepification. Look, I want to talk a little bit about these rumors I hear that Jeeps are like trying to wrestle alligators down the road and stuff. This is the farthest thing from the truth, and I could show you exactly why I'm saying that. I'm not going to say that everybody's Jeep's going to ride that way for no reason. You got to make it so. But if you're going to plan on putting a lift on and you're going to make your Jeep look cool, and you don't want to drive around looking like you're driving a mail truck, you can do that. You can do it right, and you can have a Jeep that can rock crawl, beach, voyage, and let me tell you something. Drive down the road with one finger, just like a Cadillac would. It's all beautiful. You just got to do the right thing with the right stuff. And in a lot of cases, the right people. Now we're on to the Jeep. And this is where a lot of people need to realize you spend a lot of time under your Jeep if you want it to drive well. But you need to make sure that certain things are going on. First of all, look under your Jeep and see what this stuff comes with, because you need heavy-duty stuff if you want heavy-duty wheels and you want to do heavy-duty things. Don't just throw big-ass wheels on your Jeep and think that the world's going to be perfect and you can look cool, because that isn't how it works. But I'll tell you, first off, when you're buying adjustable, you got to buy the right stuff. You don't want to Frankenlift it if you don't want to spend a lot of time project management. You want to buy really cool stuff from really cool people. I chose Rock Crawler. And I don't believe in mixing stuff up, so I go with all their stuff. And I don't think it matters. I think good stuff done well is going to give you a good outcome. But, you know, pick a company that makes good products. But what you're looking at is big, cool, good stuff. This is almost a 2-inch bar here. This thing called a tie rod. This thing called a drag link. I mean, these things are heavy duty. And it's really important that you know that when you put on these things, see that track bar, okay, they have to stay greased. And it's really important that they have really high-end grease fittings. I threw a bushing on here, but it didn't need it. I have all kinds of brackets. If you look around here, you can see that there isn't a whole lot of room, but I even put on extra brackets for testing stuff, because the reality is you want everything positioned for the height of your Jeep, and it's all geometry. So even if you have adjustable control arms, somebody's got to know how to adjust them. The wheels have to be centered. The track bar keeps the axle center between under the Jeep. The tie rods and the drag link and everything has its job, and they're all adjustable. But at the end of the day, these wheels have to be right. And there's no wrong. And if it's right and everything's right, it'll drive beautifully. And you got to realize the bigger the wheels is all about gears. You can't just put giant wheels on and not have the gears designed to push those wheels. I'm trying not to be technical here, but it could cost you $4,000 to get your gears done. It'll give you years more use, and it'll make your vehicle run the way it's supposed to. People with big wheels are usually driving around in slugs. But, keep your Jeep right, do it right, and keep it maintained. If you don't grease everything under there, it's going to wear out. So I don't care if you have an upgraded Jeep that was done by Rock Crawler with the best stuff in the world, or one of those stock Jeeps. Eventually, all these giant joints are going to start wearing out. And that's the kind of stuff in here. This is all the kind of stuff that you need to know. That you got to open these things up and you need to grease them. These are designed to be really close and not get snapped off like the old nipple type. Again, they got a fancy name. I'm not going to throw it at you, but I'm going to leave you with this. Keep your shit tight and it'll run. If you don't want to spend time and money on your Jeep, keep it stock and it'll run. But if you think you could just throw a couple springs on, or I've heard people say you could do track bars and springs and the geometry will be fine, and there's a lot of rumors out there, don't believe them. So there we are. In conclusion, you can have a lot of fun doing this stuff. I mean, you can buy all the right stuff and you can put it on yourself, but eventually at the end of the day, you're going to need someone that knows how to adjust all the control arms. And, if you're trying to reuse your stock control arms and you buy brackets or, geometry kits, or you buy adjustable, or you do both, I don't care. It's got to be perfect, and alignment machines tell all. And you could find another video on here where I'll show you an example of the kind of information you get from the right alignment machine and the kind of results you'll get from the right shop. But at the end of the day, if everything down there is adjustable, they can adjust it all. But it's not easy. You're working with big wrenches. You're working with big nuts. And you got to have people that know how to get this stuff done. You know, I want you to go out there and have Jeeps that drive well. You know, find people that have big wrenches that work on big nuts and have an alignment machine, have them tell you what you need, and then do it. And then we'll talk about maintenance later, because you got to do stuff on Jeeps too. They're high performance machines. They need high performance maintenance. It's not just the stuff on the bottom, like all those joints that wear and need to be maintained, but you got an older cooler in there that needs to be upgraded and maintained, and valve covers that leak, and everything else you get when you have a high performance engine. And that's why Jeeps were slugs in tanks at one time, and now they're fast and quick and fun, and they can climb anything because they have power. But that comes at an expense with light and high performance parts that require a lot of maintenance. So whether you drive like I do in the sand and the salt water all day because you live at the beach, go OC, or whether you're rock crawling in Kansas and Oklahoma, which I hope you are, drive straight.